Alright guys, back here again. I've been getting a lot of requests to do a video on farm pond fishing, and I grew up on a farm pond fishing. I thought who better to do this video with than my little brother Bobby, who we literally, taught each other how to fish. Bill Dance, Jimmy Houston, Roland Martin, and a literal farm pond. It was Oatland Stables in Montgomery County, Maryland. We didn't come from a family of outdoorsmen. We just watched it, and I can remember Saturday mornings where
helicopter lures and banjo
minnows.
minnows.
Exactly. We were trading each other. He had enough money to buy the helicopter lure, I had enough money to buy the banjo minnow, and we would trade each other pieces from that set. So I think for most of us, we probably all got started farm pond fishing. If you're just getting into the sport, what better way to do it than at a pond? So I wanted to give you a couple hints and helpful tips when you actually go out there to allow you to catch some more fish. So my first piece of advice is be conscious of the amount of noise that you're making. So bass can't hear Bobby and I talking auditorily, so they can't hear us like this, but what they can hear is when we're stomping around. So when you come up to a spot, almost like a ninja, you want to be so quiet that nothing can hear you, because they're listening from vibrations. My second recommendation is to fish around the pond prepared. So we have all of our tackle set up on the other end of the pond. And if Bobby or I get bit into by a 6 or 8 pounder and it rips our line, or probably more commonly for Bobby, he casts into a tree and it gets snapped off, you don't want to walk all the way around to the other side of that pond to go get your next bait. So for me, I got, well, that's my koozie too, just in case. I got my drop shot hooks, I got a couple bags of worms, all different colors, and I always carry 2 rods. And what you'll probably see me carrying around is my little 4.5 inch Robo Worm, Erler's Edge. I think it looks just like a bluegill, and a Burke's Baits jig, and this is your peanut butter and jelly style. And I feel like I can catch anything from, literally I probably caught a 4-inch fish today, maybe even smaller. And I caught
Check the website, it'll be on there.
Yeah.
It might be smaller than 4 inches.
And I caught a 4-pounder in 30 minutes of each other on this bait. My second thought is how you cast. So I'll probably make a complete different video about this, but I think if you're fishing any type of farm pond, your casting is key. And I think if you're gonna learn how to cast one way, it's the spinning tackle pitch. You hold the bait like this, and then you just go like that. And it's gonna have such a soft entry to the water. You can do it even with this little 4.5 inch Robo Worm. I could probably cast this thing 70 feet if I wanted to. But that way you're able to get to all the different spots throughout the lake or the pond. Bobby, you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I do. I want to add on to your second point. When you first walk up to your spot in between the grass, when you're going to make your cast, when it's clear water, like if you're fishing a quarry, sometimes they can see you.
So that's why you want to wear bright yellow, to let them know that you're there.
Exactly. So if you are, my first cast of today, if you recall, I was 5 to 10 feet off the water, and I actually caught a fish, or I actually missed them, cast in the same spot, caught them on my second cast. Sometimes when you walk up, if they're up there, you're going to scare them away. Particularly in spring during the spawn, you got the big females right up there. You don't want to miss your chance. You might only have one chance to catch them. So take your first cast 10 feet off the water.
Yeah, that's actually a great point that Bobby brings up. So a cool little tactic that you want to use at your pond is when you do get up to the water, your first cast, you want to be inside of 10 feet. So you want to be casting like really close to where you're at, because if you make a long cast, and let's say you put it out there 50 feet, and you hook up a 1-pounder, and there's a 6-pounder 5 feet away from you, guess what's going to happen? You're going to spook that 6-pounder, and it's not going to bite. So you want to start fishing from the inside out. So cast as close as you can, work that area, and then take it 5 feet further, and then you start working that area, and then 5 feet further, and then 5 feet further, and so on and so forth. That way you're not going to spook any big fish that you might have really easy access to. What else?
If I can add one more thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the most important thing about fishing a farm pond, we got invited out here. It is so important to make sure you leave the area better than what you found it. or you're never going to get invited back. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some more invites back here. We've just been pulling them out. I'm having a blast, and I would love to be invited back.
I mean, even if it's a public pond, I mean, you know, we always talked about leaving the place better than what we saw it or came there with. So, I mean, if you have the opportunity to pick up trash or
Fishing line,
yeah, exactly. I mean, just do your due diligence, because likely the person behind you is not going to do it, or the person in front of you. So try to pay it forward. Two other tips I have. So rod setup. For me, I mean, I use a 6-foot rod. I mean, I'm 6'2". You can see it's right around the same size as me at a farm pond, because I think it gives me the ability to get in anywhere, and I can cast it real low, I can cast it high if I'm under an overhang. Like, I'm not dealing with a 7'7" rod that I might have on my boat. And then the last thing I had for you is to keep your eyes peeled for signs of life. So these fish in a farm pond are most likely pretty dumb. So they don't see a ton of baits that are tossed off their nose like you might get at the lake that everybody goes to. So when you see a fish jump, I mean, put that bait right on top of it. And more times than not, if you're fishing something that resembles anything close to what's in that pond, like there we go.
There you go.
Thank you. The fish just jumped behind us, probably an 8-pounder. But more likely than not, he's gonna bite and you're gonna be able to land that fish. So keep your eyes peeled at all times, and that's gonna be able to help you catch a lot more good sized bass. So if you have any questions about farm pond fishing, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer anybody. Check out our page on Instagram. We got a couple cool pictures. We'll probably put a bunch up from our time today. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully we'll help you catch some more fish.
Thanks, guys.